Hello, good morning. My name's Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. And I'm joined here with a cast of weirdos and these people. You can pick who's who. We're gonna play Urban Shadows, a campaign set in our fictional California West Coast city of Santa Sombra. The Wait, what did then my poisons will take effect? Oh no, right. Oh god, screw this. That's good. Thanks for being here, everyone in chat. Dorklord Canada, our intrepid moderator, already taking care of business before we're even online. That was appreciated. We're using the Urban Shadows rule set, which is kind of Magpie Games, and it's made by Magpie Games, but it's sort of the PBTA answer to the World of Darkness games, all rolled into one. You could play a vampire or a wolf or a specter or whatever. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. But in this, they just roll it all together instead of having a whole party of just werewolves or just vampires. This is the game to play to mix all that up, which makes it kind of fun and complicated and political. So, when we left off, I'll do the recap in a minute. Let's go around and say hi. Let's start with Joey.
Hey everyone, my name's Joey, and I am playing Ryan Rosenthal, your friendly neighborhood fae. We're gonna go with a name of like a friend with benefits, potentially, of Kernunos. He gave me a nice gift, so I'd call that a benefit. What he wants for that, I'm sure we'll find out later. Who is just determined to enjoy himself. Yeah, let's go with that. Someone else talk now.
Okay, Pooja.
Hi, I'm Pooja. I am playing Asmita using the Tainted Playbook. I have a deal with a demon or an Asura. And I turn into a giant snake leopard creature. It's great. It's really great, and everyone loves it, and I'm gorgeous.
Yeah.
Definitely not an emaciated husk of myself in human form.
Nope. That's fine. This is fine. And Sam.
Hello, I'm Sam. I play Sarah Hartunian, your friendly neighborhood bartender slash wizard, who's currently a dragon for a little while longer. Oops. And has a sudden interest in necromancy, so it's definitely going to be very normal.
All right, and Jay.
Hi y'all, Jay here playing Belle from the Imp Playbook, a demon, shop owner, small business owner, pillar of the community.
I did want to check where the comma is there. Is it a demon shop owner or a demon shop owner?
A demon shop owner.
Okay.
Not really sure what all is going on that has to do with him, because I completed my deal here, so I don't see any profit in being engaged in any of this any further.
Perfect. Okay. What they're referring to is previously they went on a long roundabout, rambunctious trip through the city to acquire an amulet from the safe of a powerful wizard in the city known as Mrs. Lane. And she was eventually overcome but not killed. It's a little questionable about how she would be killed, considering she keeps most of her internal organs in canopic jars in her kitchen, in very stylish, like ceramic, cute jars. So,
Not gonna lie, I feel like that right there, pretty easy.
Where do you keep your organs?
Yeah, so she's kind of a necromantic Martha Stewart. Post-prison Martha Stewart, I think. They...
Are we assuming Martha Stewart is not a necromancer?
I'm not at liberty to say.
Okay.
So they managed to get the necklace. They have delivered it to the vampire patroness who wanted them to do that for her. An agreement had been struck The necklace has been handed off. They were paid the agreed upon, 2 debts worth, and is then she has Lisbeth has taken her leave, and was met with hails of gunfire. Also Lisbeth, the vampire, had showed up with a cadre of werewolf bodyguards. So that was a big, complicated scene. There was a shootout in the street. There were people on motorcycles who had come to sort of jump the vampires and werewolves, but apparently had not been here for the 4 of you. This was they were just taking advantage of the fact that these groups had been all bunched up in one place and, made their presence known. So, there was quite a bit of running around, but why don't we, let's just go around and have you say the last thing you remember your character doing. We'll get a little first-person narrative. We'll go in reverse. Belle, the imp.
So as I remember it, I was sitting in our town car, or my town car.
Definitely not our town car.
A limo, in fact.
Limo. It's mine now. I'm in it. Possession, 9/10 of the law. And enjoying, I don't know, a beverage. Someone knocked on the window and asked me if I was involved in this, and I definitely was not. Yeah, there's something like that.
Okay. Sarah?
If I recall, I was standing menacingly behind Asmita in the bushes, gazing upon the motorcycle people, and just giving them a nice stare down. I don't think they'd noticed my huge dragon body yet.
Okay. Asmita?
Well, after being dropped a couple stories from while attempting to lift a ride with Sarah, I landed next to our motorcycle aggressors and have been attempting to get some information from them. Like, who are they? Are you gonna try to murder us if we try to leave? I mean, those are the big ones.
Okay. And Joey?
Yeah, so Ryan was
sorry.
Ryan was racing down to meet up with everybody, and he encountered a rando motorcycle person who he convinced was terrified of him, and thus pushed him down the stairs like a star in a telenovela, and landed with guns pointed at him. And probably has a broken rib and is probably fine, except he's dying.
I mean, you got all those other ribs.
Right.
I mean, what are you complaining about? Okay, so what I want to jump to is the fact that Belle is talking to Pancakes, this motorcycle gang leader, through the slitted window.
Pancakes.
And it, as we had mentioned last time, it would be cast by Lady Gaga, who I'm sure would very much enjoy being part of this production. We speak semi-regularly, and I'm pretty sure she'd be into that. So, my close personal friend, Lady Gaga. Sorry. My jokes are so dumb. But the conversation had not wrapped up, right? Like, she had said...
Yeah, she had questions that I was
Right.
like, I don't have answers for.
Right.
Because we just came here to do a deal, and the deal is done, and so...
Right. Oh, and she was asking you vampire or werewolf.
And I was like, who wants to know?
Right. Okay. And... yeah, I think let's pick up with that. And she says, well, I want to know. I've told you who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not a vampire or werewolf, we don't have an issue.
Why would I have an issue? Why would we have an issue if I was a vampire or a werewolf?
Because they've caused us nothing but problems since we got here.
Interesting. Are you sure you haven't been causing problems? Because it really looks like you're the one shooting up the joint.
We will give as good as we get. No question. But we did not start this.
Okay, but still you can't tell if I'm a vampire or a werewolf. This sure sounds like a you problem. Because if you don't know who you're fighting, that seems like you're not good at it.
I feel like you would just tell me if you weren't one of them. So we're just going to find out. And she grabs the door. And I think it's clear kind of from her expression that she thought she was going to be able to just rip the whole door off. But it's, bulletproof car and whatever. And
Yeah.
but she does manage to, like, get her fingers in the slit of the window and, like, grabs that, like, smashes, like, snaps the window off.
Oh, wow.
But and isn't able to pull the door. But she's now, like, trying to, like, pull the door open. And,
Okay, well, now I'm annoyed. I mean, I do love pancakes, but now she's trashed the thing. How annoyed am I?
Oh, hold on. Let's reverse that a little bit. You should get to roll persuade an NPC.
Okay, sure.
So that's plus heart, unless you have something that modifies that.
Let me just make sure. No, nope, nothing that modifies it. So plus heart. All right, which dice are looking and feeling lucky today? That is an 11.
Okay. That's very good. So
Yeah.
on a hit, they see your point and do as you ask. On a 7 to 9, they would counter or demand payment. But it looks like, I have to reverse what I said about snapping the windows. She looks extremely annoyed, but also is, just kind of steps away from the car and says, "Fine, get out of here."
Well, I don't really take orders from you.
Okay,
So-
stay, whatever. And she walks
will.
over to is walking towards the edge of the top of the parking garage. It's just an open air level,
Yep.
the top level is just open.
Well, don't make sure you don't hurt any of my friends. I will be unhappy if you do.
Well, I hope I could tell whether they're werewolves or vampires, since no one's willing to say.
Sure seems like that's a skill you should develop.
All right. Well, Jay, you watch her walk to the side of the building and just sort of like hop over as if you were going to like hop over a little low barrier to, get to where you're going. And, you're 3 stories up. So that's something.
All right. Well, I mean, once she's gone, I turn to the driver and like, let's go and collect my people and get out of here. Whatever this is, I don't want any part of it.
Oh, okay. The barrier goes down a little bit, the partition, I mean.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you say, oh, okay, are they downstairs or what?
I assume so. Let's drive down to the street. I'm sure they're down there somewhere.
Okay. So yeah, he starts rolling. It's going to take a second for him to get down to the bottom level. Asmita, you were dealing with the ones downstairs who had sort of like shot up the werewolves and then let them leave.
Yes.
And then I think one of them was turning to talk to you.
Yeah. I was like, they gave me the, can you hold on a second? We just need to finish something up finger.
Okay. So we've got a few seconds before Pancakes drops down into a superhero landing. So what do you want to say to this guy? Were you talking to Cowboy Biker?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe Cowboy Biker was the one who was like, oh, hey, how's it going? And I would like to figure someone out. By tempting them with power.
That could work. Yeah, you can't really see his face, right? I think that his faceplate was still down,
Yeah, I think so.
but otherwise sort of masculine biker cowboy outfit, not straight up cowboy, but yeah, I think you could probably glean some information by the information you have, by the input that you have. So do you roll with mind?
I would roll with heart when I, tempt them with power.
Oh, that's right. You're going to tempt him with power. Okay, so what are you offering?
I am going to say that it's basically like, well, it would appear that you have embroiled yourself in a feud or begun one. It will take more than just taking out individual vampire cadres to wrest control of the night from them.
Okay. This is out of character. All right, let's go ahead and roll heart.
Do make a giant dice.
I believe in you.
They did. That's a 10 plus
Oh my.
2. I think 2. Where's my information? This is a problem with having multiple sheets open at the same time. Yes, that's a 12.
Okay, and you're in the wild circle?
Yes.
Okay, so we don't get the extra one for being in the same circle. But you get to ask 2 questions, and they don't get to ask one back because you didn't get 7 and 9. So, yeah, he's talking to you, right? You're having some back and forth. So, what 2 things or you can ask one at a time too, and then ask the second question after you get the answer. But what do you want to know specifically?
Well, what is your character's beef with the vampires?
Oh, okay. So, he goes into this story, but I'll give you the long story short, is that when their group, this guy's group, showed up in the city, they were attacked, right? They were attacked in turn by vampires, and then they were attacked by werewolves, and like just in individual circumstances, and then they started retaliating to try to, like find the biggest guy in the prison and beat him up, kind of thing of like, you're not going to pick on us, right? So that's his story, right? Is that when we showed up, both of these groups independently started messing with us, so we took it to them and have been, dismantling them as individual groups. What else do you want to ask?
Okay. What does your character worry is going to happen?
Okay, so he specifically is worried that there won't be a place for them here. I don't think he expressly says that to you. I think this is a factor of your particular insight, He's trying to be relatively nonchalant about that's fine. We're just, sometimes you have to scrap and make a name for yourself. Well, he's a little blustery about it. But ultimately, yeah, he's worried there isn't going to be a place. It seems like they've traveled a lot, right? Like they've been on the road a long time and made it here thinking this would be a spot that they could like stop running. So, Sarah, anything you want to do during that conversation and before Pancakes jumps off the side of the building? Oh, we're audio.
Are you muted?
Okay, now I'm unmuted. I think Sarah is trying to figure out like what these people are, because they're not something she immediately like recognizes. Like they're not a wizard, they're not a werewolf, they're not a vampire, obviously. Like what are these people? So I think I want to do detect the presence and function of magical items or spells about it.
Oh, is that a wizard move?
It's a wizard move, yeah.
Let me just scroll down there real quick.
It's one of my let it out abilities.
Okay. Almost there. Yeah. So let's roll let it out with advantage because of something that happened earlier.
Okay. Okay, so I'm rolling with spirit, so I have a 9.
Okay. So that means you get to activate that thing, and then I should break these up into separate documents. So now I'm scrolling all the way back to the basic moves.
Well, it's a let it out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So on a hit, mark corruption and activate an ability. And I'll let you know how it's costly, limited, or unstable. On a 10 plus, you get to ignore the corruption or the complications, but on a 9, you get both.
Yay! I'll take that corruption, thank you.
Yep. Okay, so the information you get right away is helped by the fact that you just had a crash course in necromancy, and you could tell that these are some sort of animated dead, not in the way that a vampire is dead. Like you could even argue whether a vampire is really dead or not. But this guy you're talking to behind the motorcycle helmet, like he's dead. That's
okay.
That's what you can tell right away is that him and the other two who are kind of walking over here now that the werewolves have all taken off and that, you know, it's kind of quieting down a little bit. You know, these people that you're talking to down here are dead for sure. Like should be in the ground.
That's fine. I think she's pleasantly surprised. She's like, I'm learning so much today. I'm sensing a theme. This is neat. Wonder what kind of dead people these are.
Oh, Dorkler Canada, is that there's a place for us? Yeah, okay, yeah. That was in my mind too, and I tried very hard not to say it. Thank you for letting that out. Oh. Okay, so, yeah, Sarah, you are able to tap into this. You have, correctly parsed the situation of like understanding that these people are dead. Detect the presence and function of magical items or spells. So this is a little bit odd because it's not specifically a spell, but there is a type of enchantment at work here. And I think your complication is, especially on the 9, you know, you're reaching out and you actually kind of find it hard to not try to take control of them.
Oh.
right?
Okay.
Because you're like, oh, I know this song. I know how to do this. So, I'm going to give you a choice.
Okay.
We can either take -1 ongoing for this scene in any sort of like social interaction with these undead people, because it's kind of complicated and confusing, right? And it's hard to focus on not taking control of them. Or we could roll to take control, and you won't have to take a minus. It's not like mind control, right? It's more like how you got the skeletons to do what you were, or you, what'd you get? Zombies?
Frankenstein's.
Frankenstein's, yeah, that's right. Constructs. It got them to fight the skeletons, right? So you weren't like individually puppeting them, but they, you know, bowed to your will. So, do you want to try to resist taking control of them, or do you want to give in to that?
I think she's gonna try and resist it.
Okay.
Because these are obviously like sentient, like the constructs were like roar, smash, and
Yeah,
attacking us.
for sure.
These people don't seem to be actively attacking us anymore.
Correct. Yeah.
And also they have their own personalities and whatnot. And it seems a little rude to just be like, do what I want.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
consent issue.
Yep. Okay. So you'll just have -1 for this scene. And so not just one roll, but any roll that has to do with figuring them out, right? Or
Okay.
talking to them or dealing with them.
Fair.
So yeah, you just find yourself in sort of like an awkward social position of like, oh, I could just take you over.
I'm a
That's-
dragon trying not to do a control at these people. So that's going to make things a little weird for me.
Yeah, yeah. And I think they probably even feel that like sensory push a little bit, you know, as you're, you know, reaching out to get a good sense of who and what they are. I think they all kind of like look at you and like flinch a little bit of like, whoa, that's a dragon.
I feel like she does like a, ooh, sorry, I didn't mean to. I just
Okay.
wanted, oops.
Awesome. Okay. And let's see. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? One of the ones came over, he like jumped when you did that read, right? And brought up or like hit, like pulled this patch off of his. There's one that's dressed a little bit more like Ghost Rider or Punisher, right? Who's got all the like pockets and vests. He's not like a cop. He's just like a, you know, guy with a lot of
Mercenary,
guns.
kinda.
Yeah. But he like rips this Velcro thing down, and this like UV light goes off, really bright. It doesn't hurt any of you. But Sarah, this would give you the opportunity to turn back into a human as you trick your body into thinking the sun's coming up.
Oh, okay.
If you want to roll spirit,
Sure.
but you don't have to. You can stay dragon.
I just kind of scared these people, so I think she feels kind of bad about it.
Okay.
Let's see if I can be a human again. That one fell off the table. Well, it did the same thing again. I got an 8.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I think you could go ahead and switch back without any particular complications. Yeah, I think 8 is fine. That's just right down the middle. Nothing great, nothing terrible. But yeah, you can transform back to your regular body, and everyone seems a lot more relaxed.
Yes.
And then at that point, the gal in all black leathers drops down from the top of this parking structure, does a perfect superhero landing, and stands up to look at everyone sort of gathered here, and her, like she puts the faceplate down and then just takes the whole helmet off and does the whole like hair flip like you have to do when you have long hair and take a helmet off. But looks around and just says, vampires or werewolves?
Nope.
Question. She is the one that I made afeared, right?
Oh, yeah. That was like a medium success fear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. How long is that supposed to last?
It doesn't say. It is, you can touch a target to place them in a specific emotional state, your choice.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's been a few minutes and that she can sort of temper that emotional state, especially because her emotions work in like kind of a weird way,
Sure.
given her brain chemistry. So I think she's wary of you, but not that. I'm glad you mentioned that though. Yeah. That's.
I just wanted to make sure I didn't have to do a face change because I didn't want her to run for the hills or go for her gun or...
Yeah, I mean, her hand is on the butt of her gun, right, which is kind of like slung over, but it's just pointed at the ground. It's that sort of like SMG. It's called an MP5. It's the UN sidearm if you're interested in guns, but it's a little like submachine gun type thing.
I know
Pooja?
too much about that gun. Sorry. I just had a flashback to like 3 years of my life.
Oh, right. Yeah, you would know a lot about that gun, wouldn't you? Yep. But by the way, for the record, Pooja does props. Is not an international assassin. That is not the case. In no way should anyone think that Pooja is an international, highly respected and paid assassin. That's not what she does.
Never
At all.
Never occurred to me at all. Nope.
I think you're good, Jason. The little red dot is gone, so I think you're all right.
Okay. Oh yeah, thanks for the link there. Oh God, screw this. Yep, that's what we're talking about. I think that's kind of the older model, but that's the approximately.
Okay,
what
that's
we're
much
talking
bigger than I
about.
thought it would be. I like that. That's super fun.
Yeah, it's a pretty like compact modern design. But the okay, so she has asked this question. Sarah, I think you said nope, like neither.
Yeah, she just says like a reflexive nope.
Yeah. Ryan, did you have a response to her question?
I'm just gonna kind of look at her with a smile. Do I look like a vampire werewolf to you?
It's hard to tell just by looking at people.
Points at antlers.
Right.
Yeah. My eyes are still
Oh, that's
giant
right.
voids.
The empty
Like-
void eyes. Yeah.
And I'm just, it's hard to squint disbelievingly with empty void eyes. But
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Well, then she says, all right, well, if that's the case, we don't have any disagreement with you. Do you all mind if we just be on our way? We just don't want to get shot in the back.
Neither did we, hence the parlay situation.
I think Sarah tries not to ask, but she just like her curiosity gets the better of her. And she's like, "What kind of undead are you?"
Oh my God, you can't just ask someone why they're undead.
So rude. So rude.
Just for fun, Sarah, let's have you roll heart. It's kind of a persuade an NPC.
Okay.
I'm doing a loose interpretation of persuade an NPC.
And they're at a -1, right? Because of
Negative
their...
one.
Yep.
That's gonna be super fun. I'm very excited for what happens next.
Well, I rolled a 3.
Oh,
Plus a -1 is 2.
But plus your heart.
Oh, my heart is 0.
Okay. So,
2.
right steady at the 2 there. Okay. Have they tried being not undead? Good. That's good. So yeah, the only person's face you could really see is Pancakes, and she just like her brow furrows, and it's clear she's like, you can't just ask, like that. Are you serious?
Oh,
Oh,
I'm sorry, says the person
sorry.
who literally dropped in and was like, vampire or werewolf.
Yeah, was that rude? You'd ask what we were. I'm interested. I've never encountered anybody like you guys.
Okay, well look, if we don't have a problem tonight, let's meet up later, and we could talk about it later. Right now, we have things we need to take care of tonight. And she kind of like glances down the road where all the like cars had gone. Can we? Right? Are we cool to just leave this for now?
Oh yeah. Later, I'll buy you guys a drink or something. I don't know. I can make you a drink.
Okay.
Do you drink?
What's the best way to get in touch with you? She sort of looks at all three of you.
You could come by Bell's.
Is that the man in the limousine upstairs?
Yeah, you met him. Great.
And actually, you can hear it like pulling down the ramp, into the ground floor of the parking garage.
I'm pretty sure we can hear Bell's displeasure.
Well, when I see her, I roll down the window. I'm like, any luck finding those vampires yet? How's that going for you?
But you can usually find us there.
Okay.
Here, I'll grab like a piece of scrap paper or something and write down the number for Bell's and the address and hand it to Pancakes.
Are any of those people vampires? Maybe they're werewolves. Did you ask? I hope you asked.
She did.
She did. Good.
All right. Thank you.
Hand it to her, offer my hand as a no hard feelings shake.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, I got a face.
Yep, you did.
I can be Pancakes now.
And yeah, so unless anyone's going to stop them, they get on their bikes, and the 5 motorcycles take off into the night.
Not gonna stop them. They promised to come back.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of like limp into the over to the limo and like get in and be like, I need like delivery.
Whiskey. I need whiskey.
Let's just go back to the shop.
Okay. I think we're gonna like fade that scene. All right, and we're gonna get into our time passes a little bit here. Over the next few days, the like wizard faction of the Power Circle gets in touch, Bell.
Yep.
And they let you know that Mrs. Lane has. Now let's see. What were the promises that she made?
Oh, what did she promise us?
She promised. I basically got a debt on her. Is what had happened, so I
That's
wouldn't
right.
kill her outright. That's still up in the air. I had not associated any requests with that yet. I just have that sort of Damocles over her head.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt like I walked away from that with a debt on her as well. Maybe not necessarily.
Yeah,
a
but there weren't
specific
any
promise.
like promises or like binding arrangements or anything like that.
No,
right?
there were no binding arrangements.
Okay.
No, definitely
Okay.
not.
So yeah, you receive an owl. No, you get a message.
Yeah, an email.
Yeah, and it says that the Council of Wizards, which technically Mrs. Lane is on, but she's like never shows up to meetings and stuff. And we established this before, but for viewers, Mrs. Lane is like one of the most powerful wizards in the city, but doesn't get super involved with wizard politics. So it's not like you just beat up the mayor of Wizard Town.
Right.
But you do receive a message that says, For your information, Mrs. Lane of the whatever circle of whatever wizards, is some sort of like long ass title, has formally filed a complaint with you, and we, the Council of Wizards, have agreed to sanction the shop known as Bell's, and wizards are barred from doing business at your shop for now. So,
Darn it.
yeah, egret mail, Dorkland, Canada. Very good. But yeah, you are notified that any wizard doing business at the shop will be sanctioned and face consequences.
Again, that sounds like a wizard problem.
Yeah, I mean, kinda.
I mean, if a wizard come here and wants to do business, that's on them.
Okay. All right. Yep.
What
Now-
if a wizard goes there to live and not do a business?
I mean, technically, you're living above the shop, so I don't think
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
It's true, not in the shop.
And you're not doing business.
Absolutely not.
Yep. And then
Or-
the only other thing to consider, Belle, is your friend Abe,
Oh, yeah.
who you often had business with.
That's
and
right.
Actually brought you a lot of the like potion and alchemy business that you did. Most of that trade came from them. So that's worth noting.
That is worth noting. It is a shame, but, you know,
okay.
again,
So, some of your trade capacity has been reduced. And otherwise, over the course of the next few days, Pancakes gets in touch and wants to come by later. But, you know, a week or so goes by, so we're going to have our time passes. We're going to be able to, I think this might clear up all wounds. Let me double check healing.
I hope so.
and does that
I
and
It's
really
going to heal
hope so.
some, at least.
does it heal scars?
No, scars are forever.
Oh.
I think there are a couple like one or two playbooks that have a, you know, as an advancement to remove one of your scars, but that is uncommon. Where is the healing? City moves. Well, yeah, intimacy moves. Let's not forget those. And here we go. Healing harm. Yeah, so up to serious harm, up to grievous harm or serious harm, that second set of boxes. You'll be back on your feet in a few days. Critical harm usually means you need medical attention or extreme magic, or you're gonna die. Now, is anyone in the range of critical harm, that fourth or fifth box?
No.
No.
Okay, everyone has 3 or less harm.
Yes.
Okay, so then over the course of this time passes, all of your harm will be erased.
Sick. I'm assuming that extra faint box I got from Cornelius is gone since it was a temporary thing.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine. Just making sure.
it's just a happy memory. So the other thing we need to do, if anyone has a time passes move on your
do.
playbook,
I do.
it's time to roll those, and then we're gonna do our city moves.
All right. My time passes move is rolling with mind, which now, thanks to my fancy glass arm, is a -1. So that'll be fun. Let me see, because I gotta generate a new scheme. That's... Nope. Well, I just keep missing the tray. There we go. So that is a 6 on the dice. No, 7 on the dice for a 6. Which is
And what
not
does
a
the
hit.
move say?
So this is when time passes or at the start of the game, roll with mind. It's business as usual. On a hit, my usual operations provide an opportunity to advance one of my schemes or generate a new scheme. On a miss, one of my schemes attracts the attention of a competent rival or puts my friends and family in danger, my choice.
Okay. You want the attention of a competent rival or friends and family in danger?
I'm gonna go with the competent rival. We've done enough danger.
Okay. Yeah, I think given the situation, Abe has had to take their business sort of on the road, as it were, right, around the city, and find other outlets for alchemy and potions. And that has turned out to be really successful for them. And Abe has a like a converted ice cream truck that has some like special paint on the side that most supernaturals would be able to see, but mortals are just like, why isn't the ice cream man stopping? And yeah, it's just it's becoming well known that Abe has all the potions and chemicals and alchemy and stuff that somebody could want. There's really no need to go anywhere else because Abe will come to you.
Oh, Abe.
And this is compounded with the fact that Abe knows you very well. And has probably even had like tried to get in touch for a like no hard feelings, like I'm sure you understand it's just business kind of conversation. How does that go?
Not well.
Okay. So Belle's feelings are hurt.
I'm a little annoyed. I mean, really, mobile potions, like, it's bad enough that you're not selling to me, but come on, dude. Rude.
Person's got to make a living.
I don't like it.
All right. Fair. Okay. Anybody else have a time passes move? Okay. Then let's see. I've done a bunch of this behind the scenes already. I just want to make sure I get the order of operations correct here. There is a like a city turn where we need to do a few things. And we say what you've been up to this whole time. That is, yeah. The city hub. Relationships, anchors, yep. Hub moves. Playing the game. Oh, I think this is where it's going to be. I did my homework, but I didn't do good notes. Let's see. Come on. City moves trigger as part of the faction turn. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find. Oh yeah, listed before explaining what a faction turn is.
It's a lovely setup where 10 pages earlier
Yes.
you get all these moves that you could possibly do.
Yeah.
Here it is. On page 24, when time passes, the MC conducts a faction turn. The PCs make city moves, page 14, 10 pages earlier, highlighting how their characters use the downtime in the city. Each PC makes a number of moves equal to their highest status. So rather than your circle stat, it's the little like fill-in bubbles. Mm-hmm. Does anybody have more than one in any of those?
Niet.
Nope.
Okay. So then everyone's going to get to make one city move, which is on page 14 of the document.
Okay.
I will start with Pooja.
Okay. I am going to tend to my business instead of meddling in city affairs.
Okay. Just kind of keep your head down and do what you need to do.
I think so. Especially considering we have meddled quite a bit in city affairs lately.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Not a bad idea to let things cool off a little bit.
Just a touch. I'm gonna work with my finger of the scribe and the vellum and see kind of how they interact with each other.
Okay.
And enhance their own power and kind of get my own house in order. And I am going to... What do I roll with here?
Okay. Well, with the tend to your business, you just roll. There's no bonus to it. It's just
Okay.
whatever's on the dice. Uh-oh.
Rolled a 3.
Hey, okay. So it almost wouldn't matter if you had to add something to it.
Like, Dice, I'm not happy with you anymore.
Yeah,
You were
that
so
was
nice to me
rude.
before.
That was rude. Okay, so on a hit, an interesting opportunity would have presented itself to you. On a 10 plus, no. On a miss, an NPC interrupts your ordinary life to cash in a debt, mixing you up in a mess with your circle you'd rather have avoided. Which, can you think of any NPCs that have a debt on you? I may have to invent one.
I think from my circle, you may have to invent one. Because PCs all have a debt on me.
Yeah.
But the only NPC I currently owe a debt to is from the Night Circle.
Who's that?
Chris, the vampire trash picker.
Oh, yeah. Well, do you mind if I use her?
Nope.
Okay. This was our like Gwendolyn Christie cast, right? And vampire garbage collector generally means picking up bodies. And I think she comes to you calling in her debt for you to get her a place to hide, because some shit is going down with the vampires. She doesn't want to get involved with it, and she doesn't want to get killed. So yeah, she has come to you to cash in the debt to get you to get her a safe place to hide. And that would include, like, you know, a safe shelter and being able to get blood, and, you know, just like, it's a fairly complicated thing she's asking. That's why it's worth a whole debt. So you can refuse to honor the debt if you want. There's a roll for that, or we can see about getting her set up. That's just going to use up all of this time.
I will honor that debt.
Okay. Where
Chris
do you
helped
put
me
her
out,
up?
and I am going to move her into my building. And
Where do you live in relation to Belle's shop?
I probably live like just on, somewhere like within like the next neighborhood over, or
Sure.
like pretty close. Like I could walk over there, and I
Yeah.
do often.
Because you're both Wild Circle, and the islands are all loosely grouped by circles. So
Exactly. So like I'm in like probably the next neighborhood over. I'm not on top of him.
Sure.
Because we would have murdered each other by now.
yeah. But also from Chris's point of view, having a place out of the Night Circle island to be able to hide is really valuable, right? Because people are less likely to look for her here. So, okay.
But you are going to have to take care of your own feeding. Remnants.
Well, okay. I mean, I can try to, if you can bring me food, I can take care of the cleanup. Because I can't really risk hunting.
It'll be more irregular than you're used to, but yeah.
Well, I appreciate this. Thank you. And yeah, so what does she have, like her own little apartment? Is she staying with you, or like what's the deal there?
I think that that it's more of like there was a like an apartment that's undergoing renovations
Ah, okay.
that are stalled because they're waiting on a permit to go through or something. Like
Yeah,
it's like
okay.
it's a very temporary solution, but it is a solution for the moment.
Sure. I like
By
that.
the time that like somebody goes wandering in there, will this situation on the night island will have.
Cool. All right, Joey,
Yeah.
page 14. Which city
Woohoo.
move do you like?
I want to do consult your contacts, and I want to go for the Mortalis circle. My reasoning and my thought process is Claude has gotten himself involved with trying to be security for the vampires and werewolves. And I think Mortalis may be the best people to try to make him look like a fool. And right now is the best chance for Mortalis to make an attack on the vampires and werewolves since they're so distracted. So I want to try to see who I can give that information to get that ball rolling.
Okay. All right. When you consult your contacts in another circle, roll with status in that circle. You probably have what do you have with Mortalis?
Mortalis, I have no status. So
Okay.
Yeah.
So just +0, and we'll see how many questions you can ask.
all right, that is a 7.
Okay. Oh, by the way, everyone, don't forget when you interact with the circle to mark that as your XP box, right?
That's my secondary reason for wanting Mortalis, which means I now get an advancement.
Hey, okay. So what did you roll?
I rolled a 7.
Okay, you get to ask one question.
Okay.
Or you can offer debts 1-to-1 for additional questions.
Who's responsible for thinning the herd on the night island? Like, who amongst the Mortalis is responsible for making sure they don't get out of control?
Yeah. That would be the Helsings,
Okay.
right? And they are mostly taking advantage of the fact that they seem to be like self-destructing, you know? So I think that's
Lovely.
about as much as I can give you on that one, unless you want to spend some debts.
No, that's fine for now. That at least gives me a starting point. I can work with that.
Okay. All right. And Jay?
All right. I think, like Asmita, Belle is just gonna tend to my business. I was real busy. We had a whole fight and remodel, plus the whole situation with Abe and all of that. So I am just gonna, just gonna tend to my business here.
Okay.
So let me see.
Let's roll them bones.
I'm gonna roll them bones. That is an 8, plus I got a thread.
Oh, okay. And let's see. On a hit, an interesting opportunity presents itself to you. The MC will tell you what you need to do to seize it.
Yes.
Okay. So there is a moment where Pancakes gets in touch.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And she would like to arrange. She's wondering if you're the person she could go to get access to human remains.
I mean, I'm sure that I can. Like, in what condition are these remains do you need?
She mostly just needs the heads.
How many?
Kind of like a. It's not a sort of a all at once. It's sort of like a steady supply type of thing. And they're fairly well funded to be able to encourage the arrangement.
Well, my next question was gonna be, what's it worth to you?
Okay. I think she's willing to offer you a debt. One debt.
One debt.
And it's sort of an ongoing, like once per time passes that they will refresh that debt automatically.
All right.
Assuming the arrangement remains.
That's pretty nice. Okay, I will agree to that. I think I can arrange a steady supply of heads.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, great. They have set up. They had pretty famously. This is the group that had infiltrated part of the vampire faction territory and had shot at Blythe's character when she went over to investigate a little bit. They've since moved out of there because it was complicated, and they have moved on to a section of Mortalis Island, and they have what is actually an abandoned morgue, but it has a lot of like storage facility. So they're they have a morgue, which is a basement facility, and then what was like an office kind of situation above that, they've turned into living spaces. And they just need whatever sort of deliveries you can make.
Cool.
So if you agree to that, we will have to have, what sort of a month, a per time passes, not necessarily monthly, check to see how you will provide human heads.
Yes, that's fine. I do agree to it. I like the rolling debt, and, I can figure it out.
Okay, cool. And she does specify, too, they don't have to be mortal human. They just, it can't be like dog heads, but they could be supernatural heads.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Very good to know.
And okay, yeah, so I think that's your city turn.
That's it.
Okay, Sam, I don't think you've done one of these yet, right?
I have not, no.
Okay, so your first city turn, on page 14, you get to pick one of these, and it's totally up to you which one you do. The other three need to be, generally you need to head up a circle other than your own, but we can also negotiate that, like if you have an idea for something. Or tend to your business is keeping your head down and just doing your own thing in a way that really isn't going to affect the other circles or draw attention from the other circles. Gotcha. So that's, worth noting.
Okay. Okay. I think since I have to kind of like move my sanctum and get that reset up, in Belle's building, I think Sarah's gonna tend to her business and kind of like, establish that new life outside of the Wizard Hotel. So
yeah,
let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So just roll, nothing to add to it. It's just the plain old dice.
Okay.
I almost said straight dice, but most of us don't need that.
No. What are those? Where's that one going? Hold on. The dice got away. Okay. Let's try this one again. Much better. Okay. Didn't fall off the table this time. 11.
Oh, great. Okay, so yeah, on a 10 plus, so on a hit, interesting opportunity presents itself to you. I think in this case, I'm gonna give it that you have access to like a nice big corner apartment in Bell's building, because I think that's what you're going for, right?
Yeah.
You find this great like open floor plan. Well, you could describe what you want the apartment to look like, but yeah, your interesting opportunity is that you actually have like total clearance to come in here and set up, and no one's gonna hassle you while you're doing that. And then on a 10 plus, you can ask me a follow-up question. I will answer honestly. So do you have any follow-up questions?
Ooh, interesting. Okay. Yes. So before, when we set up my sanctum, we established that it contains secrets unfamiliar even to me.
Okay.
This seems like a good time as I'm going through my stuff and rearranging it in my new place to maybe discover one of those. Can I ask, like, what is one of the secrets of my sanctum?
Yeah, I like that. Sanctum is on your character sheet, right?
Yes.
All right, let me scroll down there real quick. Come on to the W's. Ooh, I stopped right on it. Good job.
Nice.
Sanctum. Oh yeah, choose underline 4 features of your sanctum.
Mm-hmm.
Which 4 did you pick already?
So we went with a library of old tomes, a scattering of ancient relics, magical wards, and an apothecary.
Okay. Yeah, I think you find that whoever lived here before had a bunch of like magical booby traps set.
Ooh.
That were kind of like somewhat disengaged, but you were able to find them and go like, oh, actually, I know how to like put the pin in this, right? So yeah, I think your new apartment is under your control, right? It's trapped, right?
Yeah.
So you can have control over that and set off traps if you want, or allow, like whitelist people to go through your traps. However you want to do that is fine.
Awesome. That's fun.
And I don't think there's anything after that with tend to your business. Note that you can't make other city moves, and this one is the same, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so also this is technically a... Once you've decided to lay low, you've given up the chance to cause trouble for others, blah, blah, blah. Yes, that's fine. Mark XP in the wild circle for this. Okay. I think tend to your business doesn't always mark XP, but I'm going to have you do that because you are sort of becoming known in the wild circle. I don't want you to mark status there yet, but you're moving into the neighborhood, meeting the neighbors, and not murdering them. So that's,
generally being a good neighbor.
Okay. That's everybody, right? Did I forget anyone?
Yes.
All right.
That's us.
All right. Let's go back to... Let me tell you what happened with some of the other factions. Okay, so those are our city moves. The NC then chooses one faction from each circle to spotlight. I did that. So in order, Mortalis, I'll just follow up a little bit. Mortalis has the Helsings are making moves, right? They've really they're cracking down on the mortal island and really making sure the supernaturals are out of there, which is interesting because Pancake's group moved in there, but they're making the Helsings are making a lot of noise about how, like, look, everyone just keep to their spot and we won't bother you, and you don't come here and don't bother us, right? So that seems a little bit counter, like they're, creating this sort of public message versus what you know about Pancakes, who are not normal humans, right? So that's just an interesting dichotomy that you all are aware of. Night, which is werewolves, vampires, and specters, they rolled quite poorly, actually, and are really like on the defense, right? They're going to their camps and their holds, and they're like just holding up, be like, okay, we took some big hits. They did get the vampires lost some numbers, but after that initial thing, they haven't had a lot of vampires get killed. No werewolves have been killed. They've just been injured really badly. But it's kind of almost like a Cold War situation, right? They've all kind of retreated to their corners of like, okay, what the hell is happening here? So that's what we know about Night. This actually, I'm giving you 2 factions from that, but that's what happened. In the power circle, there is we have to talk about the wizards, right? They actually rolled quite well, and the way I'm interpreting that is the wizards have sanctioned Mrs. Lane, which is a big deal. She is under house arrest and is required to remain in her penthouse, and is not allowed to perform any magic that affects the environment outside of her, like calling lightning to power or something, right? Like she's not allowed to do that. And I'm gonna say, let's see, which of you have had more contact? Well, actually, they're not going to go to Sarah. So other than Sarah, who's been in contact with wizards? Jay, to some extent.
Me to some extent, yeah, with Abe, and, to some extent, sure.
Sure.
And
Asmita?
I have as well, yeah.
Who was your contact?
I think I do pretty, my knowledge in power is 1, so I kind of regularly just have to move through their territory and have kind of acquaintance level knowledge with them.
I'm kind of in the same boat.
Okay. So I'm just going to go with Asmita then. You are, they intentionally leak information to you, and it was sent to you on purpose, but you don't know who sent it from the wizards, right? But they let you know specifically that she's been put under house arrest, and that's not something they would have put in the Daily Gazette, so they wanted you to know and trusted that you would let people know who need to know. If that makes sense? Mm-hmm. And if you didn't know, now you know. No. Okay. Okay. That is the night. Oh, and then in the wild, we have, let's see, that is the fairies and the demons. And is there something else in your circle?
It's us, the tainted, the imp,
tainted and imp are basically both demons.
There's one more, isn't there?
I think it's 3 per, so
yeah, the fae, the imp, and the tainted. So I just have to remember they didn't roll very well on their things. So what did I have for them? Oh, yeah, so Ryan, you are informed that actually, I think you just sort of find out. Let me see how the faction moves. Oh, right. So the moves that are available to the factions are they can openly attack a faction, they can consolidate control. So the wizards did consolidate control, right? They like had to take care of their business and put somebody under house arrest. The Mortalis used goad an opponent, right? Where they, I mean, essentially said everybody stay out, but they're kind of like, don't come in here, don't come in here. I'm not punching you. Don't run into my fist. So that's what they were up to. But the fairies have chosen to try to offer passage, Ryan, and they are wanting to expand that so that more people owe them, and so they are, ferrying more people back and forth, right? There are some humans that go disappearing, and they've gone to visit the park and they wander off and they've disappeared, not en masse, but the Fae wants mortals. It likes to have them. Mm-hmm. and there are Fae who are wanting to make more presence in the city themselves, so they're leaving the Fae and coming here. And so the Pixies have generally set up this was a weird situation because they rolled really high. I think they got like boxcars or something when I rolled for them. And it's like, okay, how do we be super good at being a ferry boat? And I just think they have set up a back and forth. Like there's, if you need to get something back and forth, they can help you. They can even help you get something out of the city by going to the Fae and then leaving somewhere else. Mm-hmm. Right? Like go from the city to the Fae and then the Fae to elsewhere because it's connected in weird ways to the rest of the world. So wizards off the coast. Thank you, Dorkly Canada. That's good. Thank you. All right. And I think that's it for the faction turns. Cool. So we did it.
Hey.
And we'll just pick up. It's been, let's say, 10 days. Belle, your shop is largely recovered to the state that it was before. It's not really the same. And the imps kind of put things back together in some... No, it's not that they're crooked, it's that they're just strange, right? Yeah. Shelves that are too low and other things that are too high and things that are in like a strange corner and this like 6-sided table that doesn't fit conveniently into any spot that, you're like, that table did not have 6 sides before. And all they did was repair it. You could recognize the like little... carving finishings on it. But like that, how does it have 6 sides now? I don't know.
Yep.
So it's just a very different setup. But your shop is essentially recovered, right?
That's great.
Doing what it's supposed to do. You've got customers starting to come back. But just that's a little bit of setup there. Sarah, you've fully moved into your apartment. You have this space to yourself. You wanted your ward to come with you? Or is that somebody you're keeping in touch with from a distance?
You know what? I think she probably will keep in touch with her from a distance.
Okay. Yeah, and I think anything I know you had found her contract, and if you want to do something with that should be like an on-screen thing. So we'll say she knows where you are, and she you're still kind of her mentor. And the wizards have not kicked you out of the wizard circle. It's just complicated, right?
Yeah.
And they probably would like put you under house arrest too if they knew where you were. but it's not like you're the biggest villain ever, right? They're just like, okay, this is complicated. We need you to come and talk to us. Please come talk to us.
And I'm like,
No,
no.
I don't think I'm gonna do that actually.
Yo, you come over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the things you might be thinking about is like trying to set up a meeting with the wizard faction to be able to, kind of get back into some of those resources that they have available to you. But otherwise, your ward, aka the mayor of the city, the whole city, not just Wizard Town, right? The mayor of the city, which I had written down.
Oh, it's the mayor's daughter.
Yes, the mayor's
Prudence
daughter.
is my ward.
And I didn't write down anyone's name. Okay, that's fine. Whatever.
The ward's name is Prudence. I don't know.
Oh, Prudence. That's right. We were basing her on the Prudence character from Sabrina,
Yes.
the new Netflix series.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll figure out who the mayor is later. Ryan,
Yeah.
your sort of daily business is going along fine. You're getting done what you need to get done. The pixies are checking in with you more often than they used to, and you realize they are in their special way of wording things to not have to owe you.
Mm-hmm.
They are still sort of technically asking your permission. Like, they're checking in with you, right?
Yeah.
Of like, just letting you know we're doing this. You're like, okay, you didn't have to tell me that. And it occurs to you after several times, like, oh, they're trying to make sure you're not mad at them, which is weird because you owe them.
Well, no, we're even now.
Oh, it evened out?
We're
Okay.
square. Yeah.
So it's just odd then.
Yeah.
And I don't know do you have any theories why that might be happening?
Well, my first theory is they recognized my authority as the favorite of Carnunos, and now they're rightfully afraid and beloved of me.
Mm-hmm.
Another would be that they are trying to suck up to me to get information, or they fucked up somewhere. Which actually one of the things I wanted to do when we talked about last game was I'd like to use my Let It Out so I can compel the elements of my court to reveal what they have seen, because I sent the pixies to go and spy on what's her name, Elizabetta, when she escaped, to make sure she got away.
Right.
What basically happened to her in her little limo
Okay.
moment.
We'll come back to that in just 1 second.
Yeah, that's fine.
Asmita, the end of your downtime, how have you spent most of this time? We know what your circle move was, but
Think like getting Chris sorted and then figuring out like a steady supply of like I had to go and figure out like how to get her bagged blood, and then on occasion she's gonna need more fresh blood.
yeah.
And a lot of my time was like just spent figuring all that out and setting it up so that
Okay.
people don't immediately track me right back to her, like, or track her through me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm gonna haunt Belle's shop a little bit.
Okay.
I want to know what's going on in there. Like, it's like, oh, things have changed a little. Like, oh, are there new wares? Oh, I see you're not selling potions anymore. So what are you getting in to replace said potions? Look, I'm like your best customer, especially now
This
that
is
Abe
true.
isn't selling to you.
Well, yes, but also best and customer are not necessarily terms that we would use for you, but okay, that's fine. That's not entirely accurate. Yeah, I mean, I'm just doing business here. Don't where I'm working on getting some more potions. I've got I have a couple of irons in various fires. The imps did a passable job pulling this all together, so yeah.
I mean, if you squint, you kind of notice it less.
I think it all looks fine, Asmita. Thank you. Thank you for your concern. Much appreciated.
Okay. So these are good little recaps. we need to do Joey's role for like engaging with the pixies, and then we will be back into real time. But let's go ahead and take our break first. I'll put up our 4-minute timer. Does anyone want more than 4 minutes? Because I could just go to the no timer screen and say when we'll be back. So, no, we're all good with a quick
fine.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
fine.
Great. Then thanks everyone. Don't go away. We will be right back. Oh, Eli came in the chat. Hi, Eli. Nice to see you. And Captain Carry-On, I don't think I said hi to you when you came in. Lovely to see you. So folks, we will be back in just a few minutes, and we'll see you soon. Thanks. Hello again. My name's Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay, and you've joined in the middle of our Urban Shadows campaign, where it's called Santa Sombra, and it's a made-up city off the coast of California, and we are monsters. So, since we just need to buy a little bit of time here, Belle, were you always a demon?
No, I think once upon a time I was a person back in like the 1500s.
Oh, okay.
You know, and not a very nice person since the whole going to hell and becoming a demon. There's definitely some selling of one's soul for some money kinds of situations, but you know, always a shop owner, always an astute business person.
Sure. Okay. And Ryan, you were born in the Fae, right?
Oh yeah, I was born in the Fae and came over when we first came to Santa Sombra. And
Puck is your daddy?
No. I believe Oberyn is my daddy.
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Puck is the father of the other Fae I play on this channel.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Or at least I think Oberyn is my father. I am a prince, but I'm also like a little ways down the line.
Yeah.
Like I'm technically in line for the throne, but not close.
But a bunch of people would have to die for that to happen.
Very much that. It's very much a gentleman's guide to love and murder. Which, I mean, could also be fun to explore.
That's a good tagline, Dorkloid Canada. Santa Sombra, it knows when you are sleeping. That's good. All right. And Esmita, were you always a demon?
No, and I'm not a demon now. Until I got sucked into this contract.
Okay.
Because of that jerk.
So you were born into a mortal life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
and I
how
left the city and I came back, and then like my high school dude got me into this situation with Vridra, and we have in some ways learned to live with each other, mostly because I don't have a choice, because she currently owns my soul.
Yep. Okay. And well, we know that Sarah wasn't always a wizard. But how did Sarah first get into tending bar?
Oh.
And given that she's, 60-ish, this little bit older character, I mean, not from the 1500s, but Belle's complicated.
Good question. I think family business.
Oh, okay.
Like, her parents owned a pub, tavern, what have you.
Sure.
And so she kind of grew up helping out with the family business and just ended up having a talent for making cocktails and kicking unruly dudes out of the bar. So just seemed like it's a natural thing to do.
Sure. I like that.
Besides,
okay, cool.
you need bartenders everywhere, so.
That's true. It is a very mobile skill.
Yes.
Okay, well, let's jump back in. Ryan,
Yeah.
you wanted to grill the pixies, or some pixies.
Delicious.
Yes, I would like to let it out to try to get them to tell me what they know about the thing I told them to go do, because that's how pixies work.
Yep.
And that's with spirit. Spirit is fine. Oh God, that's a 5. I rolled a 3 on the dice plus 2 because someone hates me.
Yep. Okay.
So I
well,
forget
with
what
let
that
it out,
means.
that can get complicated.
Yeah, probably.
Now, is this something specific? Your let it out lets you contact the Fae? Is that...
Yeah, so what it does, the move itself says, compel the elements of your court to reveal what they have seen.
Okay. Well, let it out. Remind me what happens on a 6 minus.
It actually doesn't say. I was just looking at it. It says on a hit, mark corruption and activate an ability from your playbook. The MC will tell you how it's costly, limited, or unstable. On a 10 plus, ignore the corruption or the complication.
That's
So there
very
is
bad.
Yeah, there's no issue.
I have carte blanche.
Oh, that's good. I'm sure that's fine.
Nothing terrible will come out of this.
I mean, the Fae are famous for being forgiving.
Yeah. Yeah, this is great. Well, here's the deal.
Yeah.
The Pixies have gained a lot of like cachet, social cachet within the Fae court, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to get information, you're trying to get them to do what you want. And, you know, they did come back and sort of report because they had agreed to and you had cashed in a debt and they told you the basics of like, well, the vampires went home and then they locked their doors. And you're like, seriously? And, you know, you're trying to like put some pressure on and get them to do it, like get them to tell you more and more. And they actually are able to get Kernunos to call you home.
Oh.
And you have to spend a year working under Kernunos.
Sure.
You are returned with that year just being for you, right? Like that's, you're returned at the time that you left. But what sort of things does Kernunos have you do as sort of a working punishment?
Well, I think a lot of it is we're just gonna go there. It's a little TV MA. It's basically houseboy bullshit.
Okay.
You know, that's where we're at.
Yeah, because and Kernunos would not.
No, absolutely consent. Like but
yeah.
it's
that's
definitely
it's like
like
your option of like you could work in the garden, we could work,
or you can work in the mine. Like
yeah, but this is what we're doing.
right.
Yeah, but just wanted to be clear, everyone. This is a consenting situation, so because you had other options,
right? And that's fine. I mean, it's one of those things like Ryan's probably thinking I probably would have anyway, but not for a whole year.
Right. Yeah, and he also has you like you end up running some errands for pixies. And it takes you like 5 times longer than it would take any pixie to do these errands, right? Because they're little and fast. That's their thing. But it's kind of the spirit of it, you know? That it's like you get yours, but it's Ryan's come to Kernunos moment. That's good, so to speak.
Beautiful.
Yeah, there were only one set of hoof prints in the sand. Oh no, the hot monster god wants me to work off my debt. Yes, thank you. Yeah, this is very good.
I'm here for it.
All right, so the pixies are currently not at your beck and call. They have somehow garnered this like massive status in the court, and you're not going to be able to ask them for help for a while. So,
All right.
you are
Cool.
returned to the world of the mortals, and like a day has passed.
Yeah. Cool. I mean, Ryan comes back looking, maybe because I think there was some physical labor involved aside from the obvious physical labor. So he is looking a bit more sinewy
Sure.
and, a bit more
Tanned.
tanned. Rugged is the wrong word, but in that like light, like
Sure.
he was very kind of pretty, and now it's a bit more rougher, hot.
Sure. Like a little bit of like a scruff beard, maybe.
Very that.
Yeah.
Yes. Very, very that.
Okay. I like a short beard. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Now, let's check in with everyone else. What sorts of things that we're now just sort of in open timeline play here. So y'all weren't able to get in touch with Ryan for a whole day. That was weird. Like, geez,
Is
check
it
your
though?
messages.
Is it weird? It feels like that just
Well,
happens.
it's weird because Ryan is definitely on his phone all the time. Faye.
Yeah, there was no reception in the Fae.
Yeah.
That was the real torture. No Wi-Fi.
Yeah. There were no Instagram posts for a whole day.
That's a lot. That's worse.
Yeah.
Doesn't have scheduled Instagram posts.
Well, new content. There was nothing new and exciting.
Okay, these are old photos.
Mm-hmm.
That's even more suspicious.
Yeah.
Scheduled regrams? What?
All right. So what types of things do we have for on our on our to-do lists?
I think Sarah, knowing that at some point she may have to get in touch with the Wizard Circle, is gonna kind of lean on her ward's contract a little bit to get Prudence to maybe supply her with some info and intel on like what's going on in the Wizard Circle, who's come to power, who's fallen a little bit, obviously aside from Mrs. Lane, who is now sanctioned. But just kind of get some inside information.
Yeah, she's definitely gonna provide information for you then. And one thing you get right off the bat is the first thing, like the next day after the robbery, they had tried to assign her a new mentor, but they couldn't because they didn't have the contract, right? And they were like, well, I guess she's your mentor still. And Prudence was like, I don't care, that's fine. Not letting on that she actually really likes having you as her mentor because she's a teenager and can't say that.
Right.
Right.
Well, teen. She's like, what, 18 or 9? What did we say? She was like early college age, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 17 when I went to college. She could be.
Yeah. It's just
Yeah.
when we're TVMA, I like to have everyone kind of
Fair.
of age depending on what we're getting into. So it's safer that way.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah, let's go with 19 then.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, you definitely have set up some inroads there. Prudence is busy because she's also going to the local university as sort of not as covered. Like she's actually genuinely interested in just starting school. Doesn't have a major yet, but is kind of going through those motions and learning to be a wizard and all that stuff. So. But she has to do a lot of keeping up appearances because her mom is the mayor, and
Totally.
comes with a lot of baggage. So there's that.
Does she have any interest in necromancy?
Yeah, I mean, she's interested in all magic, and since you're her mentor, she's interested in what you have to teach her. So
Okay.
that's the big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what Sarah is kind of like most interested in at the moment, and learning the most about. So she'd probably share some of that with Prudence if she's interested.
Okay, cool. So we'll that's kind of an ongoing back burner situation. Now, Belle, you were approached to provide some resources.
That's right, I was.
What have you brought anyone in on this? Have you let any of your friends know?
I mean, I think I need to do a circle move on it
Okay.
before I let my friends. Before I get my friends involved in this, because who knows? I think I should do a circle move with Mortalis. I'm trying to think if the Van Helsings are the right people to go to for this. Or not.
Oh, those are city moves. Hold on here.
Because I was looking at Hit the Streets.
Yeah, I think that's the right move. What page is that on?
12.
What? I just went right by it, I guess. Oh, yep, there it is. Okay. So, yeah, what's your bonus with Mortalis?
I am currently at a 1 with Mortalis.
Okay, so you get to roll +1.
All right, let me see how this goes. Let's see how these dice are rolling today.
And mark your Mortalis XP if you don't have it already.
I do, and that is a 7 + 1 for an 8.
Okay. Yeah. On a hit, they're available and have the stuff. On a 7 to 9, we get to choose one of these complications. Your choices are whoever you're going to is juggling their own problems, or whatever you need is more costly than anticipated.
Well, I am not gonna pay more money for things. I'm tired of debts and money, so I'll go with 1. If it's more, they're juggling something.
Okay. And I mean, that means they're probably going to need your help with it.
I'm willing to do help. I just am tired of debts.
Okay. And what was you were saying you wanted to check with the Helsings a little bit. What was kind of your thesis statement?
I mean, my thesis statement is I need someone to supply me with heads on the regular, who's not going to ask a lot of questions.
Right.
And I thought for a second if maybe talking about, but I think I'm going to go around the Van Helsings.
Yeah, okay.
And contact someone, basically at the morgue.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you get in touch with someone there, and this is probably someone you've spoken to before. I think we have a former EMT who was out in the streets, picking people up and doing that kind of work, and has since gotten their degree to be a not mortician, but the person who does autopsies and stuff is a full doctor, right?
Coroner?
You have to be coroner.
Yeah, coroner. Yeah, usually.
They were interested in that line of work and have become a coroner. As far as just a regular human being without any sort of ties to extra stuff.
Cool.
Except the thing they've started discovering it, and when you go to help them, the thing that their own problems is they are hearing voices in the morgue when they're the only ones there. And they're wondering if there's anything you know about that or could help with. Dorklord Canada with redeeming the name in channel points. This is Burke O'Hare, questionable EMT, or new coroner, as it is. Burke O'Hare, thank you for redeeming
Burke
that.
O'Hare, all right.
Burke O'Hare, we'll say coroner now. The city's newest coroner, and that's and Burke. Is Dorklord, what are Burke's pronouns? We'll wait for that to. to populate there. Okay, so Belle, what are you gonna do about the voices that Burke can hear?
Well, I mean, that's not exactly my bailiwick, but I do happen to know a necromancer. And I feel like a necromancer would be of some use in this situation.
Okay. Well, Sarah lives upstairs.
That's the person that I'm calling right now.
Okay. Burke is confirmed they, them.
Got it?
Thank you, Dorklord Canada, for redeeming your channel points.
Huzzah!
And them, so you can't make me take my glasses off again. We were playing Hades yesterday, and one of the channel points on there is lose the glasses. And honestly, took my glasses off and had one of the best runs in Hades of ever. like I beat Hades.
Nice.
However, when I got to the final fight, I had asked Dorklord special permission to put my glasses back on, and he relented. Also, we hadn't realized it had said it was only supposed to be for 5 minutes, so I had gone like 25 minutes in this Hades run with no glasses. So, like,
Wow.
honestly, I did really well.
Secret weapon.
Um,
it's the Clark Kent to Superman
yeah,
Yep.
situation.
yeah, it was funny. But Belle, are you going upstairs? Are you calling Sarah?
I'm just gonna call Sarah.
Stick your head out the window and shout.
We are. Come on, we're modern people. I'll pick up the phone
Sarah.
and call Sarah and say, "Hey, Sarah, what are you doing?"
Do you actually want to know, or is that just the opening question?
Mostly an open. Are you free? Is really the question that I'm asking.
Yeah. What do you need?
So a friend of mine works over in the morgue. They're doing me a solid, but they have a bit of a problem with voices in the morgue.
Voices in the morgue?
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that felt like a very Sarah sort of situation.
I am intrigued. Yes.
A situation.
A situation?
Nailed it.
I'd lost it.
Stuck the landing.
Like
Yep.
disembodied voices, or are the corpses talking?
Unclear. So, some fun investigating to be done.
Yeah, that sounds
You
like
down?
fun. Oh heck yeah!
All right.
It can only further my studies. So, let's check it out.
I dig it. Let's do it.
So I'll gather up a couple of my important necromancy tomes, pack a bag, and yeah, let's head on out to the morgue.
Yeah. So, yeah, we'll roll out. I guess on the way out, just say, Ismita, Sarah and I are going to go by the morgue. For reasons.
Yes, I'm sure that y'all. I mean,
Mhm.
whatever. It's not like I'm doing anything else. I'm sure it's going to be interesting.
Oh, you want to come with? I mean, it might be interesting.
I could actually probably use some. There are things that I could also do in the morgue that might be helpful. So yes, I shall go with you.
And just
Okay.
because it's fun and complicated, Ryan, I imagine having spent a year away from your friends, you might be interested in stopping by to see them. Is that
Oh,
accurate?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the first place I go to
So
once I go home and shower and change.
yeah, so Ryan, whom you all saw yesterday with none beard, right? Has sent, and I think even we've made jokes about how you're Fae and it takes a long time to grow a beard, and you know,
yeah.
maybe you've even lamented like, oh, I wish I could grow a beard as
I
quickly.
just want options.
Yes. So your friend Ryan shows up freshly coiffed, but looking tan with a full, but neatly trimmed beard. Sort of why am I thinking of it as a King Arthur beard? Is there like a King Arthur moment where it's like got a nice tight beard? I don't know why I'm
Probably.
thinking of that.
I mean,
but
I'm sure at some point.
yeah.
There's something nice about a crown weird
Yes,
situation.
Yes.
Okay, so
Hey,
It's so good to see you all.
we saw you yesterday.
Right.
Huh.
Yeah. Yes. Yesterday. Yeah.
Did you
Mm-hmm. Yes.
did you illusion facial hair onto yourself? And I'm gonna go to poke it.
I
Ow.
like this.
Ow. It is. Stop. It's attached. Stop it.
What?
Look, I'm trying a new look. You know, gotta keep it up for the fans on the social media and all that good stuff. You know. Stop looking at me like that, accusatorily.
I mean, I feel like
Not
the
accusatory.
accusation is more in the that's a you putting that on there. I'm just curious
Yeah.
as to how yesterday you didn't have facial hair and now you have I believe the kids are calling it a glorious mane of hair on your chin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look, it's a Faye thing. You wouldn't understand.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go to the morgue.
morgue.
You want to come with?
Yes. And his head is like, I have been gone for a year. I thought maybe we'd go up to get drinks, but yeah, let's go to the morgue. But all that behind the yes, sure.
We got drinks yesterday.
Well, no,
Right.
he didn't say that out loud. He was just thinking it.
Yeah. Okay, good.
We can always go get drinks after the morgue.
Honestly, drinks after the morgue is maybe better order of operations anyway.
I mean,
You're not
chances
wrong.
are.
So what's at the morgue?
Voices.
Maybe ghosts.
Oh, good. So
I
Oh,
heard
possibly demons who are inhabiting
I heard
corpses or trying to.
baby ghosts and was like, oh no, that's no, never mind. That's not what she
No.
said. I don't have
Nope.
to X card anything.
Nope.
Maybe.
Maybe ghosts.
Yes.
baby,
Yeah.
ghosts.
Baby
Ghosts.
ghosts
Baby
would be
demons.
X carded, but maybe ghosts is fine.
Maybe.
I mean, maybe ghosts. Well, you know what? Let's just see what it is. It could be anything. Could be nothing. Could just be a trip to the morgue.
Could
Yep.
be curse.
My friend Burke is doing me a solid, so I'm doing them a solid, and it's gonna all work out just fine.
Okay, I gotta know,
Why
what
not?
does the driving over there look like? Do we get a car? Is somebody driving?
Oh no, car service. Yeah, I order another limo. Now I like limos.
Oh, okay. I like it.
This is how we're traveling now. This is
Traveling in style. I like
exactly.
Excellent. Okay. So yeah, the limo picks you up, takes you across town. You go over the bridge to the other island. Remember, there are 5 islands for our viewers who might be new. 4 of them represent the circles of Mortalis, Night, Wild, and Power. And then there's a 5th one that is considered sort of the Elysium Island. It's where warring groups can go. Everyone's agreed we're not going to have any violence on that turf. And it's, it's also like where City Hall is, and kind of the main downtown financial district is on the Elysium Island. But they're all arranged in sort of a 5-pointed star arrangement. So with the, like, if you were to draw the lines of the bridges going back and forth, there's this conspicuous star shape. It's definitely not a summoning sigil or anything like that.
Oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I just got a link for Matthew Bomer with a beard. Excuse me,
Oh.
please.
Oh, yep.
Yep. Nope. Yep. That's priority.
I'll
Priority
be in his
one.
bunk. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
I'm,
Well done,
I mean,
everyone.
I'm looking respectfully.
of course.
Um,
Always.
I'm just doing the Lord's work. And
Thank
by
you.
the Lord, I
Yeah.
mean Lord Cornunos.
Yes. All right. So we head across the bridge to the Mortalis Island, not the Elysium Island. There is a hospital on each island. This is the hospital here, the main hospital. There's, of course, like clinics and other things. But I think this is also probably the biggest hospital in the city, even if each island has a functional hospital. The one in Mortalis is the big main one where you would go for major surgeries and major like CT scan kind of things, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, y'all are dropped off. The limo takes off because it did its job, or does it wait for you, Belle?
Waits. Yeah, no,
Okay.
he waits.
Okay, cool.
We need a ride back.
Okay, so you just do like the half day rental
Yeah.
versus like pick up and
Yeah, I'm not
Pick up
calling
again.
for another cab to take us home.
okay, cool. So yeah, it just goes over to the patient parking lot and waits for you over there. And
On the way, can I do a channeling to
oh yeah,
prepare?
let's roll it.
Awesome. Ooh, just barely. We got a 7. Okay. I hold 3 and choose 1 from the below. We're gonna mark it corruption.
Hold on, let me look at that real quick. Oh, that's on your sheet, right? On
Yes.
Le
Yeah.
Wizard. Oh yeah,
Options
channeling.
are-
Yeah, it's okay. I don't need to modify that. Carry
Okay.
on.
corruption noted.
Hey.
And I think she kind of notices that Ryan is looking a little out of sorts, and so before she goes to do her channeling, she just like hands you a flask and is like, "You seem like you're having a day, bud."
It's weird dreams last night. That feels like visibly uncomfortable in a car. Like it is moving too fast than what he's used to in the last. Like it's a lot of just being uncomfortable. So take the flask and
Also being like fully dressed, wearing shoes.
Very all of that.
Yeah. And Sarah, I'm going to say this corruption thing happened. So on the drive there, you're like, all right, I should sort of get my shit together and be ready to channel my abilities. And that occurs to you as you're going over the bridge and you perform this act at about the midpoint of the bridge. And it's like you're, it's like when you go to sit down and you are 100% sure there's a chair behind you and wrong. It feels like that. You're like, okay, let's just bring the power in and whoa, what? And, are completely off balance for like a hot second of like, what is going on? And this corruption is you like clawing this power back, of like, no, this is mine. But you were, it happened because you could feel it. Like you were in this kind of like weird zone, right? On the bridge. And
Gotcha.
it really like messed you up. And I would say you would think twice about trying to channel on any of the bridges again. That it was concerning.
Okay. Yuck. Do not want.
Okay, so you all pull up to the hospital, you head down to the morgue, and no one's really stopping you. It's middle of the day, it's fairly busy, but Dr. O'Hare is downstairs ready to meet with you, even sends out some of the other like students. There's probably a couple of medical students down there helping out with stuff. And when you come in, Belle, the O'Hare kind of straightens up and says, special investigator, thank you. Students, please step out. And
Yeah, that's what we are. Yeah.
yep. And then they go and close the, lock the door. I guess they put the do not disturb light on in the morning.
The autopsy in progress.
Yeah, that's the one. Thank you for saving us.
Do not disturb.
That's a whole other thing, buddy. I mean, like,
Listen,
does
we're
this
not here
morgue
to
rent by
judge.
the hour?
I'm sorry. I was just so astonished and grossed out by my own words. Oh. Okay. So when you walk in, just for funsies, I'm gonna have everyone go ahead and roll spirit.
Okay, well, these dice are going all the way the fuck away.
Uh-oh.
No. Those are the ones I rolled
Oh,
last time. They
okay.
got me like a 3 and sent me to the Fae for a year.
And a 7.
Ooh,
Better.
a whole 5.
I also got a 7.
8.
Wait, who had the 5?
Me.
Oh. Okay.
Well, hello there.
All right. So, this is a keep your cool roll, as all 4 of you are plugged into like something strange happening here. Something strange in this neighborhood, if you will. No? Okay.
Yes.
No.
All right.
Well, I just want to know who you're gonna call. Like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, did anyone get 10 plus? Excellent. I mean, oh well.
It's fine.
On a 7 and 9, that's the 3 of you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you all can choose to mark a corruption or be in the same boat as Belle.
Oh, that sounds real bad.
But I'm not going to tell you what that is before you choose, by the way.
I'm gonna take that corruption.
Okay.
I'm also gonna take that corruption.
Yeah. And by the way, my corruption filled up.
Oh, good. So let's pause real quick because you must take a corruption advancement right now.
Yay. Okay.
Jay, nobody wants to be in your boat.
No, they do not, and that seems reasonable.
It's a small boat. I don't think we'd all fit.
Don't
Small
look Canada.
boat
That's
after
one of
all.
my favorite memes of all time. The raising a family is so hard. Depends on how closely they're buried. What? What?
So good. I think I'm going to take the dark arts. When you turn to violence with magic or psychic energies, mark corruption to roll with spirit instead of blood.
Ooh, okay. So keep in mind you don't have to roll with spirit, but if you decide to,
But I can.
yes.
And I don't think I mentioned to you the corruption move I took when I got my last corruption
Oh,
advancement.
right.
I'm not going to try to pronounce this because it's in Gaelic, and I'm not that good at Gaelic yet. But the move is when you gain your remaining fairy powers. When you use fairy magic, you may no longer choose to suffer harm. So I have to either choose corruption or owe a debt to my court.
Okay, I like that. Can you paste the Gaelic into chat?
I can. Absolutely. I can just type it out.
I have a little bit of Gaelic pronunciation, but I may not have this one, so we'll see.
Like, I always think I'm getting close, and then I hear it pronounced like I was way off.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. So I'm pretty sure the CHT is just open. It's like Kuma. But I don't know what just the CH. I don't know if that's like Gach Kuma or
That would be my thought. My thought would be Gakumat,
yeah.
but I'm going to do a Google search about it and see what it actually means real quick.
Sweet.
Yeah, cool. Let me know when you find it.
Yep.
Okay, so the three of you mark your corruption, and you all are immediately aware of like, oh yeah, there's at least one presence. There's probably multiple presences here. It's not what do you know, like hostile, or at least you don't think it is. Like there's nothing like jumping out of the wall at you, but all three of you are immediately like, oh, yep, there's something weird here. Okay, let's figure out what it is. Now, Belle, this is. I also like this description. Keep your cool is one of the most flexible moves in the game. When your MC is looking for a move but isn't sure which one to use, they'll probably choose this one. Okay, so what I. Now, as an imp, you don't have a patron the way Asmita does, right?
No, but I do have a former, well, how do they put it exactly? Demonic ex-liege.
Okay. But
Trying to get me back.
You left their service, right?
That's right,
That was
yeah.
not something you're obligated to anymore?
No, not obligated.
Okay. Okay. So let's yeah, I think it's a what's the movie I'm thinking of? Does it Take All of Me? There's the possession, like
Oh, all of me, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you are like lowercase p possessed,
Oh.
right? As a presence leaps into your body and mind. However, you are also aware and can sort of fight for control. But before you can totally wrestle control, everyone, Belle says, in like kind of a weird, I mean, it's still Belle's voice, but it's a little like, you know, kind of croaky. Belle just says, get out. And Belle, that you can sort of wrest control here. But what do you want to do?
I mean, say, get it out of me.
And the O'Hare is just, they're just backing up against the lockers. I'm like, oh God, what is happening?
Get it out of me.
Get out. Belle, if you would like to stop this thing from speaking for a moment, you could, wait, where is it? Oh, let it out.
All right.
But you don't have to roll if you don't want to.
Oh, no, I want to roll. So this would be a let it out roll?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I'm going to try to let it out.
What's your spirit?
Well, let me see where my spirit is right now. It's at a 1. So, you know.
That's not terrible.
That's not terrible. And that roll, though, it does not make it great because that's a 5 on the dice with +1 for a 6. Which is not a hit.
Oh,
Okay.
but it is close enough to lend a hand.
It's what now? Oh,
Close
yeah.
enough to lend a hand if you're okay with that.
Yeah.
I am definitely okay with that.
All right, Asmita, do you want to roll lend a hand?
I think I do. I think like I sense this thing going on, and I empathize a lot with I empathize a lot with, you know, someone struggling with unwanted attention and things inside of themselves, or things taking pieces of themselves, you know.
Okay. I'm gonna say to be able to help with this sort of internal spiritual power struggle, Asmita, you are gonna need to either take Belle's hand or just like be in physical contact. So what does that look like?
I am going to take his hand and let the void come into my eyes
Ooh.
and basically like try to anchor him using that. It's like, you are here with me.
And just to
Like, get a hold of yourself.
and just to preface, so I want to make sure you know, on a 7 to 9, you expose yourself to danger, entanglement, or cost in your help roll. So that's up to you. But you're gonna roll plus wild.
Great. And oh yeah.
Oh yeah, whoops. We do need to update Nightbot. That's fine.
Rolled a 9, and I have wild at 1, so that's a 10.
Ooh, okay.
Ooh, nice.
Okay. So that gives Bella +1 and doesn't entangle Asmita. So
Nice.
Belle, we get you to a 7
Yep.
with your let it out roll.
Yep.
And that says, on a hit, mark corruption and activate an ability from your playbook. Is there anything on your playbook that would affect this situation?
Not really.
Okay.
Also, I've just filled my corruption track.
Ooh, okay, well, let's do that
Woo.
first.
So I've already taken a +1 to any stat. I will take a plus.
And
Do I
you don't have
a
to take
corrective
them in
move?
order.
Okay.
It's just the last one that's like become a villain or whatever. You just can't
Yeah.
take that until everything else is full.
Hold on. Just sort of looking. You know what? I am going to take this one of my corruption moves, and that is on the shit list.
How does that go?
Mark corruption to declare someone an enemy of my people. Others of my kind will gaslight, antagonize, or worse. Until I say otherwise, their advance, mislead, distract, or trick for anyone targeting them.
Okay,
Nice.
Yeah.
awesome. All right, so with the 7, I think the let it out move that you get basically is the ability to push this thing down for a moment, right? And like push it to the back. You're still possessed. You weren't able to. I think a 10+ would have been like kicking it out.
Right.
But you are at least able to compartmentalize, and if you want to explain to people what's going on, or do you. What happens?
Yeah. So yeah, push it back. Some asshole motherfucker is trying to possess me.
Okay.
And I would really like them to pay a very steep price for that.
Can I ask? Are there any dead bodies currently in the morgue?
Yeah, probably a dozen.
Okay. I have 2 very bad ideas.
I like where this is going. Big
Yep.
fan.
Like it already.
Is that in character?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, I'm not saying that out loud.
Okay.
That's Sam, the player. I would like to roll Let It Out to reshape the essence or nature of an exposed object or magical spell.
Okay.
Nice.
Can I grab the spirit and yeet it into a dead body?
Okay.
Let's see if the dice agree that that's a good idea. Come on, dice. We're
I
gonna
like
do
this.
something weird. Oh, they did
Yeet.
like that.
I say yeet.
Yeet. That is a 10.
Oh my. Okay.
Yes.
And you're doing let it out, right?
Let it out, yes.
Okay. Let me just double check the wording around that. I still don't love the organization of these moves. Right. Okay. So on a 10+, you can ignore the corruption or the complications.
Let's ignore. What are the complications? We don't know.
Right.
Well, I'm doing a pretty strong necromancy.
Oh, you
here,
know
so-
what? Hold on. I think I am supposed to tell you how the effect is costly, limited, or unstable, and then you get to choose.
Okay.
So, what's going to happen is you're going to be able to yeet this into a corpse. But the complication, if you would rather have the complication than the corruption, the complication will be that you're going to maintain a telepathic link to this spirit.
Oh, I was going to do that anyway.
Well,
Let me have that.
I mean, it's going to be a link that you can't turn off at will. So, it's up. But it sounds like you'd rather have that complication than the corruption.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that was my next terrible idea, was to establish a telepathic link with it.
All right. So yeah, you yeet the spirit out of Bell into like drawer 11 because you could sense for some reason you just know where all the dead bodies are.
Neat.
Weird. It's like all the the clickable lockers are. You could just hover over.
These ones are full.
Yeah.
Have a slightly highlighted edge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those doors are a slightly lighter shade
Yes.
Yeah.
gray than the other
Yeah.
ones.
Press X to investigate.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. And this voice is like shrieking like it's going down a roller coaster, right? As you just send it out of Bell and into this body where it lands, and it's stunned and quiet for the moment. But you can feel like the emotional equivalent of panting, right? Of just being like freaked out and recovering. And the body in the fridge is not panting or mobile or anything, right? It's just you've lodged this spirit in this receptacle, but it's not animated.
Okay.
This jar was empty.
Yeah, the jar is now full.
Yep.
I think she's just gonna kind of calmly walk over to drawer number 11 and think and speak out loud at the same time so everybody can hear her. She's gonna be like, "Hey friend, we're not here to hurt you or bother you in any way. It seems like you're having a rough time and might need some help." Opens drawer, pulls out the tray. They're just like, "You seem to want us to leave, but is there something we could do to help you?"
Why don't you roll figure someone out?
Okay.
That's with mind, unless you have something that modifies that. Because they are communicating with you.
Oh, okay.
All of you see Sarah addressing a perfectly still, cold, dead body.
Not a surprise.
Yeah, I'm much less surprised than I should be here.
Okay. The dice like talking to dead people. That's a 10.
Okay. So with figure someone out on a 10 plus, you get to ask 2 questions. Or on a hit, you ask 2. And since it's a 10, I don't get to ask you one back. So what 2 questions do you like?
And there's a list, right? What page?
Yep, it's on page 10.
10. Okay. Questions. Figure someone out. What does your character worry is going to happen?
They're worried they're going to be stuck here forever. Here,
Okay.
like in the morgue.
The morgue. Okay. How could I get your character to cooperate?
Well, if you can help them, like disconnect from what's tethering them here, they will help you do something. But they can't leave. And that's the problem, right?
Okay.
So it's not like you say, well, okay, just leave. They physically can't, and so that's
Got it. Okay. Cool. So I'm gonna tell them, listen, I know you're stuck here, and that really sucks. We might be able to help you if you can chill out and help us figure out what's keeping you here.
Okay, so all of you hear Sarah's side of this conversation.
Mm-hmm.
What you see, by the way, the person in the drawer was like a 70 something Latino man and just laying still. But then O'Hare just about jumps out of their skin. Bill, I think you're probably the closest because you two are, that's your contact, right? You came to talk to O'Hare. O'Hare just about jumps out of their skin because the body in the freezer, like the jaw opens a little bit and we just get this but Sarah, you're able to, like, you are being communicated mind to mind, right? And I'm sorry, Save, tell me what was it specifically you were asking again?
I'm asking them to chill out.
Oh, right.
And tell us why are you stuck here? What's keeping you here?
The voice says, they murdered me.
Who murdered you?
They did. They can't really adjust or.
Can you think a picture at me?
Oh yeah, and they picture Burke.
Oh.
The coroner.
Oh. Okay. I see. What would you like me to do about that?
Burn them alive.
Ooh.
Is that what happened to you?
No.
Oh, that's very specific. Is there any other solution you would accept?
The spirit is a little ranty at this point, and you're mostly just getting a burn them, burn them, burn them, kind of a.
Cool. Okay. Let me see what we can do about that. You hang tight for a minute. Are you comfortable in there?
Burn them, burn them, burn them, burn them.
I'll take that as a yes. I'll be right back. And I'm just gonna walk over to the rest of the group and Burke, would you mind giving us a minute with the situation?
I can't just leave you in here.
It's just step outside for a second.
I'll lose my job. I can't leave a bunch of people in here unsupervised.
I'd like to go ahead and try to persuade him to let this happen.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're gonna roll and then we'll see what my mouth does when the dice tell me. Finally. Okay, that's a 10 on the dice plus 2 is a 12.
Oh my. Yes. Okay, what is your argument? And is this seduction, promises, or threats?
I think it's a seduction. I think that's kind of where he's been the last year.
I mean, look at him.
MO at the moment. Just listen, we just need to have a quick moment and why don't we go outside? I'll go with you.
Oh, you mean you? Oh.
Do kind of the lean in, arm against the wall,
And you all aren't gonna mess with anything.
No.
They're already sort of walking towards the door with Ryan.
No, of course not. No worries.
Trust me. In a few minutes, you won't be thinking about them at all.
Trust Ryan.
Out the door.
Yep.
Cool. As soon as they're out of earshot. Okay. So our friend Casper was murdered by Burke.
Oh. That's unfortunate.
And they're stuck here.
Okay.
They don't want to be stuck here. It's kind of a big ask. They would like us to burn Burke alive.
That's a very big ask.
Yeah, I'm gonna need more than the second-hand word of a ghost who immediately attempted to possess Belle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sarah, if you're interested, you also have a pretty good picture in your mind of the ghost's previous image. And if they're saying Burke murdered them, there's a good chance they're here in the morgue. Their body is here.
That's a good point. Well, I know which drawers have people in them, so let's.
Oh, and this is definitely like a 40-something blonde white lady. Like this is a Karen ghost.
Okay.
This city has so many Karens.
It does.
Yeah. A lot of Karens, a lot of people asking to see the manager.
Oh, it's an urban horror game. What do you expect?
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so we found Karen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
This
well,
is her. Does she have like a toe tag or something? Does it say who she is?
No, she came in as a Jane Doe. The toe tag says Jane Doe. But yeah, you can open up the thing. You can slide out her drawer. You can see there's like an autopsy scar that's been stitched back together in case somebody comes to claim the body. But there's no obvious sign of like what killed her. And you'd have to get into the coroner's records, which are probably in his locked computer, or their locked computer, to get more.
well, I mean, I'd like to study a place of power to do exactly all of that. And also figure out what's not real in this room.
Yeah, okay.
Come on, be the good dice. That's perfect. That's a 9 on the dice. Study a place of power is with.
Oh, Dorkler Canada, I'm proud of you.
I loved it. I didn't want to interrupt, but it was beautiful.
Yeah.
That's Mortalis. So that's a 10 because it's Mortalis, right?
Yep.
Yep, so that's a
is
10.
Mortalis roll. So study a place of power. On a hit, you see below the surface to the reality underneath. The MC will reveal an area, NPC, or item located within that is not what it seems. Okay, so part 1 of this, Jay, is that the cause of death should be on the toe tag.
Right.
And it's just blank. And you got a 10 plus?
10.
Okay.
Yeah, so 10 plus.
And it turns out when you're like, okay, how do I get more information? The coroner's computer wakes up and just by coincidence is like, do you want to run the update? Which has then unlocked the computer.
Mm-hmm.
And you could go like, no, remind me later. But the computer's now unlocked.
But let me poke around in all these files here.
Yep. Okay.
And see, well, looking, I guess, for people with no cause of death.
Okay, so content warning. This is a little bit gruesome. Okay, everybody. But what you find is the Jane Doe video file of Dr. O'Hare like narrating what they're doing, right? Of like, okay, I have this Jane Doe patient. We're gonna do an autopsy to find out how she died. Et cetera, right? He's like doing this whole thing, and you kind of skip through the video, and then what happens is Dr. O'Hare opens her up, and her heart is still beating, and then stops.
Oh my!
And so, and then you see O'Hare reach for the like recording button, and the video stops.
Okay.
So it seems like maybe. Like, O'Hare was not trying to murder her, right?
Right.
But somebody brought this body down thinking she was dead, and O'Hare performing the autopsy finished her off.
Got it.
Gotcha.
So that's
okay.
I will say, like, it sounds like our ghost wasn't exactly your everyday average mortal.
Doesn't seem that way.
To start with. So can I try to put a name to a face?
Yeah, why not?
Just as a... Okay. And that is a roll with their circle, so that would be Mortalis. So that's a 7.
Okay.
that was close. On a hit, I know their reputation.
Yeah, this is, you realize this is a little bit complicated because this is basically the beginning of a Spectre story, right? Where this person was probably a manifested ghost, or like had been inhabiting a body, and now that's all complicated and mixed up. You kind of understand the context of what I mean there? Like we don't totally know what's going on with that, but you do recognize you remember hearing about somebody who, just like a specter that people have done business with around the city. It's not uncommon to deal with ghosts from time to time. Spectre is a playbook in the game, by the way, so it's a thing that, just for context, the Spectre is their main move is manifest. Regular people can't sense or interact with you unless you manifest. Supernatural creatures and perceptive mortals usually know you're present but can't affect you without magical tools or special powers. And so that's kind of the core of their thing. And then they might choose won't be ignored, ghost town, potent, wall, or conduit. So that's kind of the vibe of what the Spectre playbook is all about. So, yeah, Asmita, you're aware of this woman essentially being a specter about town, and haunting managers and causing problems.
That's interesting. This person wasn't alive before, really. I mean, they're a specter. They're a ghost. They're a ghost who's been around.
Huh. And Burke didn't mean to kill them anyway.
They were already dead, mostly, kind of.
Well,
definitely not getting better.
Less corporeal now, it seems.
But it's not the first possession they've ever... Belle wasn't the first possession they had ever attempted.
Were they possessing this body? Like, this was not their original body.
Possibly. I'm a little fuzzy on the details. I've never met her. I haven't done business with this specter before. I'm assuming I do get a name.
How about Vanessa?
Okay. Vanessa, I've heard of her, but seeing as I don't tend to have long-standing feuds with certain shops that don't bend over backwards to accommodate me, her services aren't really in my wheelhouse.
Right.
Fair. I want to see what her reaction is to the information we've gathered. I'm still linked with her? Okay. So I'm gonna just be like, Vanessa, are you aware that your death was accidental at Burke's hands? And I'm gonna think the video at her.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to convince an NPC, because she's mostly just chanting burn them.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to need you to roll to sort of break her out of that.
Okay. What am I rolling with?
Persuade an NPC is with heart.
Oh, it's a 9.
Okay. On a 7 to 9, they counter your offer or demand payment. Okay. So yes, she focuses up for a moment, and looks at the video through your memory. What is it you're saying to her?
I think I'm saying to her, like, yes, he was responsible for your death, but are you aware it was like this? Like, he looks surprised. There's no malice, I'm assuming, in his face. He looks a little freaked out. Like,
So she replies in your mind, so instead of malicious, they're criminally incompetent and have left me in a state of disarray for which I can't be compensated.
Oh my.
oof.
And Belle, I think you're getting little echoes of her voice, like from down a tunnel, kind of.
Mm-hmm. What? Was this your original body? Points to the one that I pictured her.
Well, I don't see how that's any of your business.
Oh my god.
Well, it does matter in how I can help you.
I don't understand why they're not on fire. I had a very simple request. I asked one thing, and not even that is being done for me when I have clearly been wildly inconvenienced, and this whole process is totally unacceptable.
While it is unfortunate you find yourself in this state, I don't think it was personal, and being intransigent is not going to help you get out of it.
Okay, so on you had your 7 to 9 persuade. I think her counter offer is, if you don't want to burn O'Hare alive, that you could instead anchor her spirit in O'Hare's body and just let her take them over. That is her counter offer.
We're not going to do that. I could put you in a body, but I can't put you in O'Hare's body.
These bodies don't move anymore. This is unacceptable.
I didn't say these bodies.
Who's your mentor? There must be somebody more competent here.
Oh my god.
No, honey, you are speaking to the manager.
That can't be right.
If you would like to be corporeal again, I'm your manager. If you would like to not be corporeal again, you can continue being rude. I don't really care either way because I deal with dead people. That's what I do. So getting what you want requires being nice to me.
Okay, so Sarah, you are going to be the subject of a psychic attack.
Okay.
And depending on what you choose, you can either turn to violence, escape a situation, or I think that's it. I think it's those two. So if you want to do harm back, if you want to counterattack, you'll need to turn to violence. Or if you want to completely avoid it, it's not going to be like you have to go running out of the room. I'm using a sort of bland escape a situation, a little less literal. But those are kind of the options. And if you choose neither, she's just going to do some harm to you. So that's, it's your choice. You don't even have to do either one.
I do want to do the harm back to her.
Okay.
I also have a let it out move that is deflect or redirect an oncoming blow before it strikes.
Oh.
Does that work?
Yes. As a start, I want you to roll turn to violence to see if you can wield that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because if you can make both of those things work, you'll take none harm. That's a cool opportunity. But I think, do you roll something else with turn to violence instead of blood?
I can roll with spirit if I mark a corruption.
What would you prefer?
I want to roll the spirit.
Okay.
Obviously.
Real quick, panning outside. Is Ryan making out with Burke? Because Burke's down.
Oh yeah, we're
Okay.
absolutely in a supply closet.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Okay, great.
we're having a great time.
Sure.
If it gets there and there's enough time, maybe triggering an instant move. I mean, it's been a minute.
Yeah, I mean, I
since
think
he's-
we're already there.
Okay,
right?
good. So yeah, we're there. The promise I want to extract from him is if you ever get any information or anybody come in regarding Burke's security, should be easy for him to remember. I want to know.
Okay.
And that's a Mortalis experience point. Sick.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay, and make a note of that because I don't want to forget.
Yep.
Okay, Sarah, what did you get on your turn to violence?
So I got an 8.
Okay.
In my turn to violence.
So on a hit, you inflict harm, and your opposition chooses one. They're going to inflict harm on you, but
Uh-huh.
I'm also going to let you now do your let it out move.
Okay. Ooh, I got doubles. Take a thread. Okay, I get a 7.
Okay. All right. So with let it out, on a hit, mark corruption, activate an ability. We're doing that. The effect is costly, limited, or unstable. Okay. So I think. So how much does your normal turn to violence do for harm? Does it say like when you wield your magic as a weapon?
Yeah. It normally does 3 harm close or 2 harm area.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think 3 harm close makes sense here. And you then we're gonna take 2 harm.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna have you turn half of that around. So you deal 4 harm to the spirit. You take 1, which is faint harm, and I would just love to know how it's visible, like a bloody nose or eye blood vessel, something. What do we see as that 1 harm hits you?
Yeah, I think a little bit of nose blood, just like, because it's a psychic attack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So her nose starts to bleed a little bit.
Okay. And ultimately, the spirit is dissipated. Like it's like completely incorporealized. Like you've banished it.
Whoops.
Yeah. And you don't know if she's able to come back or not eventually, but right now she's gone. You could check and see if her body still has some sort of tether to this place. But all of you can feel the presence leave the building.
Whoa.
Okay. Well, she shouldn't have been rude to me.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I mean, I don't
Yeah.
really think this one was a loss.
Yeah, no. That was excessively rude and unnecessary. And also they wanted to burn my friend for no good reason.
Yeah, like that's a lot. Like, okay,
That was-
he murdered
yeah.
you, but like, the shit
Yeah.
was an accident.
Also, didn't actually murder her.
Yeah, also that.
Right.
Like, she had kind of already murdered whoever inhabited that body to begin
Yeah,
with.
exactly.
Maybe. We don't know.
We don't know. We don't care.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
And she certainly wasn't willing to be more forthcoming about the situation. So,
Yeah.
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 yeah, I just love that she attacked Sarah and Sarah just went, whoosh. No.
Get out of my bar.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
You bounced the ghost. I love
That's
it.
the ghost. Oh my God.
Sarah Hartunian, ghost bouncer.
Yep. And Sarah, if you don't have your Knight XP marked, go ahead and mark Knight.
Awesome. Sweet. Cool. Okay.
And Ryan, if you don't have Mortalis XP marked, you can mark one of those.
Oh yeah. Got it.
You definitely got some experience
Mm,
today.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Well, yeah. Well,
Oh, actually, Asmita and Bell can mark night as well, if you don't already have it
Hold
marked
on, let
this
me
round.
see. I think I do. No, I don't. Woohoo.
And
Question, Jason. It's totally fine if it's a no. But would my year of fun in the sun mark my wild experience? Or no, because that was a penalty?
Yeah, no, that was a punishment. I mean,
That's fine.
sometimes a negative experience can mark your XP because the XP is just you dealt with the circle.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not
Oh,
going to
that's
count that
fine.
one.
I was just double checking.
Okay.
sounds more like a punishment to me, but
Punishment.
Oh yeah, right. Dorklo Canada. It's Dorklo Canada. Weren't you an EMT? I think in a or are an EMT. Sounded like an atrial flutter, and those are hard to detect. It's not like coroners are in the habit of checking for a pulse. No, the coroner trusts that they've
Yes.
been given a dead body. You don't usually make it downstairs with a pulse.
also, like, depending on how long she had been, like, how long that she had been waiting to have her autopsy done. Like, if Burke had other bodies to deal with or other duties as coroner to deal with ahead of time.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a reasonable expectation that if you're down there, you're probably dead.
Yeah, it's almost like
listen.
she was being really unreasonable in this
At
circumstances.
100%. No, she was the bad guy.
Almost like that's her whole shtick.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She doesn't even go here.
Yep.
Thank you for that.
Exactly.
Okay, so we have banished the ghost of Vanessa. Ryan and O'Hare, Burke, come back in, and the five of you are going to be able to continue this conversation. However, it's after 1 o'clock, and we need to make our goodbyes. So everyone remember, we will pick up here next time with Burke O'Hare, coroner extraordinaire, not murderer.
Not murderer. We
Confirmed,
think.
or at least
Still not confirmed.
They didn't murder Vanessa.
Exactly. That was not murder, but that doesn't mean they haven't murdered other people.
Right.
We don't know.
Volunteer first responder. That's awesome, DLC. Thank you for
Yay.
your volunteerism.
Thank you.
I did volunteer search and rescue through high school and college. That was a lot of... Well, it was fun for me because I never came across anything horrible, which
That's good.
was a possibility.
That's the big.
Yep. But a good experience overall. So, let's. Anything we need to put a pin on in this scene before we make our goodbyes?
Just real quick, I have 2 holds left, just to remember for next
Okay.
time.
Yep. Make a
From
note
my
of that.
channeling. Yep.
That's definitely your resource.
I might want to use link on Burke's mind. Just get in there, see how much of a not murderer Burke really is.
I mean, they could be like. It is a little sus that they're willing to supply a steady stream
Yeah.
of mortal heads.
Yeah, but it's very Santa Sombra though.
Yeah.
Like Burke
And-
being a murderer is definitely not a deal breaker.
It depends.
It
Depends
depends.
who you're
like,
murdering.
yeah, it depends on who
Right.
they're murdering.
Like-
but it's not automatically like, oh, Burke's a murderer, business is done here. No, not necessarily.
Right, like
I mean,
the crow came
who's-
back and murdered a bunch of people who
Yeah.
we were fine with him murdering.
Yep,
Right?
exactly.
Okay.
And the same with like there was like at least 4 times. 4 times.
Mm-hmm.
Here.
All right.
Accurate.
Well, Pooja, tell the people who you are and where they can find your stuff.
Hello, I am Pooja, and you can find me on Twitter at LADesigirl, LADESI girl, and pretty much everywhere else is Forgotten Saves. If you want to hear me play more TTRPGs, you can find me on 12-Sided Stories. That's a podcast where we do a bunch of different types of actual plays. We actually just had Session 0 drop of our new Call of Cthulhu actual play, Otherworld Seattle, set in the early 90s. It's a lot of fun.
I'm really looking forward to more of that story. I heard the opener and I'm hooked already.
It is quite a ride.
Yeah.
And you can also find me occasionally on Happy Jacks RPG.
And in Otherworld Seattle, Jay is playing the exact character I would want to play and is my self-insert PC. So, Jay, tell us what you've been up to.
Hey, y'all, you can find me on the socials at Jay Holtham. And yep, you can find me playing Otherworld Seattle, currently on 12-Sided Stories with Pooja, playing a video store clerk nerd stoner, erstwhile director. That's sort of fun, watching that develop. And you can also find me every other Monday night, currently on Happy Jacks RPG with both Samantha and Jason, doing space shenanigans in our Yuma Station Traveler game. I couldn't remember
Traveler
the system.
2.0.
Traveler 2.0 system, playing Yuma Station. Come see us go into space and do space things.
Well,
and yeah, that's about it. That's about it.
You invoked the Samantha. Sam?
I have been summoned. Hello, I'm Sam. You can find me on the internet at Red Pandroid. Also on Happy Jacks for Yuma Station. Definitely more murdery than my character here. Yeah, murdery space shenanigans. I'm an assassin. It's great. We are probably also soon starting up our Vampire the Masquerade actual play there again, in which I am a satanic Malkavian nun. So definitely very normal, as are all of my characters. And if you want to check out my art and stuff that I make, I just added a new Wasteland collection to my shop, stiarnastore.com. So if you want to go see some post-apocalyptic meets Art Deco merchandise for my Wasteland tribe, you can check them out.
Is there anything on your store we could buy that if we wanted to hex someone through with your sort of like, you have a Sam hex on you?
I don't have any hexing shirts, but I do have a brunch summoning sigil that is very effective.
One of my favorite shirts, in fact.
The Holy Trinity of mimosa, coffee, and water on it.
Yep.
As well as all the alchemical symbols you would need to summon yourself the perfect brunch.
Excellent. I love it.
It's very effective.
Oh, I also have the mug of that's like color changing or heat change. Yeah.
Fun.
Well, speaking of vampires, Joey, aren't you in that game?
I am in that game.
Look at these segues, people.
Wow, beautiful. Yep, I have been Joey. I should still be Joey next week unless something weird happens. Who knows? Shit gets weird. You can follow me on the socials to make sure shit hasn't gotten weird. Twitter is Feywild85, FEYWILDE 85. Same as you can see me typing in the chat for Twitch. And like Jason said, I am in the Vampire 5e game over at Happy Jack. It should be coming back soon, any week now. We're very excited. And I'm also here every Saturday morning, and hopefully maybe something new coming down the pipe, possibly. I heard rumors of, may chance. So keep an eye on the socials to see when that may or may not be happening.
Awesome. And as I mentioned before, my name is Jason. The channel is It's Probably Okay. You can follow me on Twitch and Twitter at It's Probably Okay. I stream here Wednesdays and Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And every other Monday, I'm over on Happy Jacks again with the aforementioned folks. So hope you can come and hang out with us, join in the fun. Thank you, everyone, for joining us live or later. Your only two options. And
that anyone is admitting to.
Yes, as far as we know. I'm going to send us to our ending stream while I look for someone for us to haunt. Well, actually, maybe I'll just vamp for a second here while I do that so we can just vamp for... Shh. Nobody saw.
Are you proud of those two puns?
Yes.
Good.
I mean, what did you expect me to say? Oh, you know what? Let's go say hi to our friends over at Q Times. They've got a new thing they just started up. They're playing Aliens. That's fun. All right. Well, the raid is live. I'm going to go to our end screen. Thank you again, everybody. We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.